Okay, this is the Shadow Ranger. Just take two. I haven't done a wrestling video in a very, very long time. I think it's been over a year, but I decided I'd like to start doing some a little more. Um, I want to talk about TNA a little bit. I've been hearing people say this since Bound for Glory, and I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from because it just doesn't make sense. Everyone's been comparing this they angle and this Jeff Hardy heel turn with Hogan and Bischoff, and everyone's saying it's nWo, and it isn't. This not really even a matter of opinion. It is not nWo in any way. Just because Hulk Hogan is part of a group doesn't mean it's a they're trying to recreate the NWO. That's like saying that if Triple H is part of a group, then we're recreating DX. You know what? Evolution wasn't DX. All right. You can put Mark Henry in a group doesn't mean it's Nation of Domination anymore. Put Eric Young in a group doesn't make it Team Canada. If you want to compare this angle to something from the past, there's the people say that a good angle you can redo after every 10 years or so. If you're gonna compare this to anything, this angle is corporate champion. Remember the corporate champion storyline? Vince McMahon does this feud with The Rock. He says, I have a problem with the people, and that means I have a problem with the people's champion. He has his goons attack The Rock. He has The Rock arrested. Um, has The Rock attacked more than one time. Screws The Rock out of the title tournament. The Rock at one point rock bottoms Vince McMahon and gives him a people's elbow, and it all builds up to the big swerve of they were in on it the whole time, and Vince McMahon fixed the tournament so that The Rock would be the new WWF champion and he was the corporate champion. That's what Jeff Hardy is now. He's the corporate champion. Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan have put their plan in place to take control of TNA. They did the thing where they got Dixie to sign the paper without looking at it and everything. And so now they're in charge, and Jeff Hardy is their puppet. He is their hand-picked champion. All right? You got Abyss and the Fortune guys. They're basically going to be the muscle, the goons. Like Vince McMahon had, Patterson and Briscoe and Boss Man, Test, Ken Shamrock. Um, think I'm forgetting somebody else that was in the corporation, but Jeff Hardy's gonna be the centerpiece as the corporate champion. So again, this is not NWO. This is corporate champ. If anything, this is corporate champion. All right. Um, if you disagree, please let me know. Please make a response video and tell me why you feel this is NWO. I don't see anything NWO about this at all. All right. Except that Hogan's in it. Um, I like this angle. I was pleasantly surprised with the big reveal of day. I didn't see Jeff Hardy heel turn coming, and no one else did. I think a lot of people are kind of upset because they got worked. Yes, you got worked again, and you just gotta accept it. I'm a mark, just like you guys are all marks, and we all talk about how boring wrestling has gotten and how predictable it is. Well, TNA has given us something that was that we didn't expect. Nobody predicted Jeff Hardy's heel turn. I listened to a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of message boards. I listened to a lot of wrestling radio shows, and I never heard one person anywhere say Jeff Hardy's gonna turn heel. That's what this is leading up to. It was a surprise. You all got worked, and there's a lot of potential to go with it. So they set that up, and on Impact tonight, they did the heat building. I'm sure people are gonna complain that there wasn't a lot of wrestling, but there wasn't supposed to be. This was just a takeover. This was the fallout from the big pay-per-view and the big reveal. And now Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan have taken over, and tonight they abused their powers, which is what they were supposed to do. They put the Pope in a 5-on-1 handicap match. They screwed over RVD and Anderson in the number one contenders match. They threw Dixie out of the building. They had their hired security guards, Gunner and Murphy, beat up Kurt Angle and handcuff him so Jeff Jarrett could beat him down. It was what they were supposed to do. That's what tonight was supposed to be about. It really wasn't supposed to be a lot of wrestling on tonight's show. There was no reason. Matches would have just gotten away. Tonight was a story building episode. You get the matches later. All right. You're gonna have Jeff Hardy defending a world title match. It'll probably be against Rob Van Dam. That'll be a pretty good match. And you set up the baby faces who are gonna go after this new group and try to take the belt from Jeff. You got Pope, you got Samoa Joe, you got Rob Van Dam. You're gonna have Anderson, have Kurt Angle. You got five guys to go after this group. Personally, I'd like to see AJ Styles turn back face and join up and try to take this group down. Because I just don't like seeing AJ's heel. It just doesn't work. I have not liked watching him at all this year, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers. And as a heel, it just doesn't work. Had to get a little drink there. Other things going on in TNA. We have some new feuds set up. So they set up new feuds for Bound for Glory. We're gonna have this Tara laid down for Madison Rain and gave her the belt. So now we're gonna have Madison Rain versus Mickey James. I guess I'm not really looking forward to it. I would really rather not have Mickey James in the title picture right now. I really would rather have someone else going for that title. I personally don't want Madison Rain to be champion. I fantasy booked a 7 month title reign for Taylor Wilde, and I'll put the link up in the description if you want to go to my blog and read what I came up with. But I really wish they would have Mickey, you know, actually have to work her way up to the belt. Instead, it feels like they're just gonna rush it and put the title on her as soon as possible. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if she wins that belt for Madison at the next at the first chance. Like the I'm gonna predict that the first title shot Mickey James gets against Madison Rain, she's gonna win that belt, and it's gonna suck. Do some story with it, guy. Build it up. Um, yeah, the Shore guys attacked Jay Lethal and Bound for Glory to set up their feud is coming up. That's gonna be okay. I'm gonna look see more of this Robbie guy. I'm hearing so many people just talk smack about this dude, and he hasn't even had a match on TV yet. What amazes me about TNA and some of the TNA fans that they will complain about TNA doing something and say what they want from TNA, and yet TNA will give them what they want, and then they still complain. I want to understand why people want to hate on this Shore gimmick of Robbie eating cookie. I'm not a Jersey Shore fan. I've never watched it. Um, but I don't. The gimmick doesn't annoy me. He just seems like he kind of looks like seems like Zack Ryder a little bit. But this gimmick and this angle, isn't this everything that you guys always say you want TNA to do? I mean, let's review. All right, Robbie E and Cookie. They're not in their 40s. They're not ex WWE guys. We have their fresh faces from the indies that we haven't seen on TV before. Um, they're not feuding with old guys. All right, he's feuding with Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal's like 24, 25, I think. And they're in a legit feud for the X Division title, which puts some emphasis on that. Look, the X Division title is not always going to get as much TV time as other belts. It's not the world title. It's the X Division title. We all love the X Division title, but it's not supposed to be the main focus of the show. The world title is. But you got two fresh young faces. Neither are ex WWE guys. Neither are in their 40s, and They're going to have a legitimate feud over the X Division title, which is what everybody always says they want. Well, they give it to you, and now you're still complaining. I don't get that.